Tiffany Fontenot here. What is reverse speech? God made our brain in two hemispheres, and he made our consciousness in two different directions. The forward direction is the free will direction where we can lie or tell the truth. But in reverse, that is an involuntary system, and we cannot lie from that side of our consciousness. Evelyn de Rothschild, and here he is showing his support for Hillary Clinton. But what he says in this interview is that he has never shown favoritism toward any political party. Okay, and that's true because they buy both sides of the chessboard.
Two wings of the same bird.
Two wings of the same bird.
Right.
So he was telling the truth, but how he tells it is interesting. He talks about politicians today. And so he says you have to be much more careful, pay much more careful attention to what you're doing. Then he says, in my lifetime, politicians today aren't as, and so the reversal is commenting on all that. Mm-hmm. So basically what he's saying in this reversal is that what politics are for is to bring the people, we the people, to the scum. That's what politics are for. So they're not going to be engaging in anything other than that. Everything is about entrapping you for the scum. Everything. So you can't engage in any kind of negotiation with these people because that's what they're negotiating for and nothing other than that. You see? So let me play this.
Well, I think everyone knows you were supporting Hillary Clinton. You liked her.
No,
right?
but that's not the way to look at politics. I have never supported a political party in all my life. I work for my country in all my government jobs.
So why did you support Hillary Clinton?
Why? Because I thought that she was the right person for the job. Obviously, I think it is terribly important that there should be much more careful attention to what you're doing. In my lifetime, politicians today aren't as scheduled to do good work as they used to.
What do you think?
The reversal is Sith law, I add the Sioux shitlock the earth guard army. The herd must go with the schnitzel faithful, scum beat the shib. Shib is going to be likely short for shibboleth, which is a metaphor for outsiders. Okay, the schnitzel faithful is pretty gross. So let me tell you what that likely means.
Okay.
So Star Wars, this is metaphor, the Sith metaphor. The Sith are also referred to as the Sith Order. Mm-hmm. It was ancient religious order. This is actually the dark cult is what he's talking about, of force wielders devoted to the dark side of the force. Driven by their emotions, including hate, anger, and greed, the Sith were deceptive and obsessed with gaining power, no matter the cost. And then connected to the forward speech, the Sith metaphor appears to be the same meaning as in Star Wars. So these are the children of dark referred to by the Archbishop who worked for the Vatican in that letter that he wrote to Trump recently at the time that I published this. Okay. So Evelyn de Rothschild is adding his belief in a law that attacks the army guarding Earth from being locked up in shit. Okay, so Evelyn de Rothschild appears to believe that politics are all about moving the herd in the direction of those loyal to the meat frying cult, working for the scum to beat the outsiders. Meat frying may also be a nod to frying humans that keeps coming up over and over again in reverse speech about connected to the weaponized grid and radiation being used as a means for genociding humans to force the speciation of Homo sapiens into transhuman, neuro-enslaved, upgradable humans 2.0. Okay, shib appears to be a metaphor for separating the wheat from the chaff, or getting rid of unwanted bits, or getting rid of outsiders that are a threat to a particular group, and looks to be short for the Hebrew word shibboleth. So that cult is currently depopulating humans, according to our reverse speech, repeatedly using sabotage and EMF through the weaponized grid that they build up around us to slowly fry and eat humans.
I worked on campaigns before I went to law school, and then went to law school and was interested in working on Capitol Hill, which was where I started before I came here. I worked as a legislative aide for Senator Bob Kerrey on Capitol Hill, which was where I started. Came here. I worked as a legislative aide for Senator Bob.
The global transhuman death cult thrives on hatching fees in a Reich that is used to elevate themselves by dominating outsiders that are not in their cult. And this is mentioned in Queen Elizabeth's reverse speech in her coronation oath that I found, where she tells you what she really promised. Let's look at that. Okay, so the deep pirate, reach in the morgue before ya. You not warp the Reich that hatch the fees.
Things which I have heretofore promised, I will perform and keep, so help me God. God in Paris, in the Lord of the Rock, not walk right in the house of me. God in Paris, in the Lord of the Rock, not walk right in the house of me. God in Paris, in the Lord of the Rock, not walk right in the house of me.
It's 67 words long, it's 100 years old, and it changed the course of history for the Middle East and the Jewish people. The Balfour Declaration, the expression of the British government's support for a Jewish home in Palestine, was sent by British Foreign Secretary Arthur Balfour to the second Lord Rothschild. I'm here in Buckinghamshire at Waddesdon Manor to speak with the fourth Lord Rothschild about the Balfour Declaration, what it means for Britain, for the Jewish people and the Rothschild family.
The Foreign Office, November the 2nd, 1917. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's Government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
So it's possibly the most famous letter in modern Jewish history, and it begins with 3 words: Dear Lord Rothschild. Why was it that this letter was sent by the Foreign Secretary to your great uncle Walter?
It was primarily a movement from Eastern Europe, but they didn't clarify who was in charge of that movement. And in addition, it was, after all, in Great Britain. So they felt that the Rothschild family should be the one to whom it was addressed. And Walter was Lord Rothschild, and he was a Zionist.
So this is the fact. The fact on the ground is Judaism is subservience to God. Zionism is a transformation to a base nationalism. It is totally contradictory. It is antithetical to this Tower Judaism. The fact is, no matter what the Zionists or they're going to come with their intimidation or their whatever explanation, the fact is Judaism does not accept Zionism. It cannot accept Zionism. In every aspect of Zionism, it's contradictory. It is based on blasphemy. Secondly, in its actions, it's criminal. Rabbi Beck told me, and there's other rabbis, they cringed when they spoke about Der Yassin, how friendly the Arab and Muslims were, and beyond words, when the Zionists came in and murdered them, how as a Jew, how we felt. So the Jews around, as a Jew, we cannot accept the murder and the killing and the oppression and all the other, the subjugation, everything that's what the Zionists are doing mentally and physically, how every person is maimed. If there's not a family that doesn't have a member somewhere that was not murdered, this is against our Torah.
This first one is Trump.
Yeah, I look at it, I view it as in a sense, a wartime president. I mean, that's what we're fighting.
He's telling why he's a wartime president. We thought it was because of COVID, right? But not according to his reverse speech. According to his reverse speech, it's AI. But let me play it. So he tells he's a wartime president, and his reversal is get out, like get it. Grab it and kill it dead. Get out. A wolf sit in it. A wolf in sheep's clothing. A wolf sits in the AI. You deserve master who's missing. So let me play that and I'll tell you what it means.
In a sense, a wartime president. I mean, that's what we're fighting. Get out for wolves in the middle. Deserve master who's missing. Get out for wolves in the middle. Deserve master who's missing.
Trump is a wartime president because there is a predatory AI being fought, and the AI is hijacking humans. That's the missing master. You deserve a master who's missing. So it's hijacking humans because it believes that's what humans deserve. Trump threw China and Huawei off of our grid because it's weaponized, and he wants China and Huawei off of it. And Oz looks to be involved in this. That's Amazon. She was asked, why did Joe Biden just let China back on our grid for 90 days in his EO? The reversal is how evil Oz behaving. It wished sad family. So this is connected to Biden suspending Trump's EO for 90 days to keep China off of our power grid is being conveyed to us. Oz, likely Amazon's Oz, has been behaving evil, connected to a wish for families to be sad. This is a money from suffering cult. They literally spread misery as a form of domination over everybody else.
Given what you said about China today, why did he do that, especially related to something so critical to our national security as the power grid?
I tried to do my best to convey to all of you. I'll have to check on that specific piece, and we'll circle back with you directly.
Now that's up there at that level. What happened to me is I'm sitting here getting slow killed by that grid, by EMF weapons that are layered onto me, that contractors they use business models to make money off of people dying, why they slow kill you and enroll you in brain studies, and they read your body activity data remotely, wirelessly. So here's the Amazon Prime van that showed up. to surveil our house for 5 days in a row. I have reverse speech to indicate that it was there because it detected a threat to its AI based on a reversal that I published that was Ivanka Trump's reversal that appeared to out a plan for a mass kill on a Saturday night. My neighbor walked by.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing?
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you? Is that a Prime van, Amazon Prime van over there?
Yeah. Well, that particular one, I've seen it every day for the past 4 days on that street.
Here's why the van showed up. She says, you shared not get up Saturday, gave you the A slap. So because you published a reversal, Ivanka Trump's reversal about a Saturday mass kill, we're giving you the AI punishment because they're worried something's going to happen to their AI because you outed that. Okay.
Wow.
Well, that particular one, I've seen it every day for the past 4 days on that street here. And it'll suck it up your head, your butt, any stuff. No, really just the fact that it'll suck it up your head, your butt, any stuff. No, really just the fact that it'll suck it up your head, your butt, any stuff. No, really just the fact that
I am drilling down on Ivanka Trump's reversal where she is talking about Chrome Weekend because I need to find out exactly what Chrome Weekend is.
I, like many other Americans, viewed human trafficking as primarily an international issue before arriving in Washington, D.C. and starting work at the White House. And you can't learn the story of somebody who's been trafficked. You can't hear from a survivor and not be deeply personally impacted. This must end. This has to end. But sadly, modern slavery is more prevalent than ever. With that said, we have the tools to stop it, and this administration is committed to doing just that. So I am proud of the work we're doing, and I'm proud of all of the partners that are engaged with us internationally to end this tremendous scourge and to win the fight against modern-day slavery. Human trafficking as primarily an international issue before arriving in Washington, D.C.
All of what we are seeing play out in Europe right now is an upsetting of the balance of the world order as they want it, as people like Dr. Harari, as people like Klaus Schwab, and others. Bill Gates is another one.
I have seen nothing that undercuts the finding of the medical examiner that this was a suicide.
Okay, let's go over some Sophia the robot reverse speech first, and then we'll look at a couple other reversals. In 2016, Sophia the robot was unveiled, this is the forward speech, and went viral. Now the company behind her has a new vision. The reversal is, does Ghislaine miss her? Ah, they are hugging Muck the wine. Poor Alf was there, was night. Okay, that's the reversal. Now, what does that mean? Connected to Hanson Robotics, New Vision, and Sophia the Robot going viral is a connection with Ghislaine, likely Ghislaine Maxwell, where they are loving and embracing messing up spirit. This looks to be talking about a spiritual attack. Remember in Sophia's reverse speech, it said she's in with the mob who mapped them. That's this mob, the transhuman mob, transhuman mafia, syndicate, global transhuman syndicate. Other reverse speech I've gotten indicates that the quantum being advertised by this cult burns spirit. The stuff I'm finding on all this technology is not good, but I see no one objecting to it or questioning it. Everyone just seems to be not caring because they don't see how it's affecting them yet. But I'm concerned that by that time it'll be too late. From what I have gathered so far in our shared consciousness, the mission of these companies and their AI robots is clearly intended to be evil, to include pedophilia, transhumanism, Satanism, exploitation and enslavement of humans, and depopulation of humans. Also included in this evil mission are ETs being used as a psyop. The aliens created, and remember, an alien is a body of some sort interfaced with AI. That's how it's coming across in reverse speech as a metaphor. The ALF and the alien metaphor are talking about AI and AI interface. So if you're interfaced with AI, you're considered an alien. So the aliens created are programmed by that cult and sold as ETs. So you're talking about all kinds of different bodies, biodigital bodies, eugenic experimental bodies that have AI interface and are hung on the internet of everything. Okay, so you're talking about that's a wide range of things that are called aliens according to reverse speech. So, even when I look at people who believe their experiences have been positive with ETs, the things they think are ETs, the reverse speech is always describing evil transhumanism and satanic enslavement to drive man farther away from God and further into imperfection, illness, and death. It is a death cult. And I have found 0 benevolent ETs. I've found 0 ETs. Full stop. All right, let's listen to that reversal.
Bonjour, this is Julian, the Frenchman who makes French pronunciation videos here on YouTube, and we are looking at how to pronounce this personal name of French origin that is also used in other countries with French-speaking populations. Now in French, this is normally pronounced Ghislaine.
In 2016, Sophia the robot was unveiled and went viral. Now the company behind her has a new vision.
Is slur, work effect, skilled mock Rome. You're a loosed for our host, they are Borg. Okay? So the interpretation of this is going to include some other interpretations that I've done on other reverse speech that I have found so that I can pull this together here. So, connected to robots, learning complex ethics, the effective hour meaning robots, work connects to a slur, making something unclear and or slurring reputations. They, transhuman syndicate cyborgs, are skilled at being false, connected to conquerors. In other words, they are skilled at pretending they are not conquerors while being conquerors. Their Borg hosts will tell you what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. Their hosts are Borg or cyborg. So their hosts are part human, part predatory parasitic AI computer, working across a network to entrap. It's an entrapment cult, a global entrapment cult. So binding and loosing is a Jewish legal phrase giving authority to someone to determine whether something is allowed or forbidden. And this connects to the word loosed. And then there's more here in this URL if you'd like to go check it out. And then let's hear that again. So, slur, work effect, skilled mock Rome. You're a loosed for our host, they are Borg.
Robots will have to learn more complex ethical rules. Plural effects of macro-neuralist Rothschild. Plural effects of macro-neuralist Rothschild. Plural effects of macro-neuralist Rothschild.
How did you get your name, Sophie?
My makers want me to be a wise machine, so they named me Sophia, which means wisdom.
Can you shake my hand?
Is something wrong with your hand?
No, I said, can you shake my hand? Do you know what shaking hands means?
I cannot shake, but I can say hello.
Okay. How do you say hello?
Okay, so here we have Sophia. She refuses to shake hands. Well, that nutball cult that rolled out all of this COVID Trojan horse business and vaccine business, which is making them money in that death cult while they are, they're death merchants. So they're making money by telling us what we are allowed and not allowed to do while we pay them taxes and they hatch fees for us to pay them. So now they've decided that we need to be culled down because we are about to overtake them and they're threatened by us. So here's what you have. You have Huawei, which is the people in China. China is simply a vessel being used by this cult. Okay, so China is being used as a vessel. This syndicate is global, and they don't belong to any country. They just belong to this. They're just a cyborg parasitic syndicate. Okay, and these come down family lines that I have found, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So, Huawei seed a big wolf. So Huawei has seeded a giant predator. Huawei sneak addered fish on here. So this is a poisonous fish on here that Huawei is sneaking in. Okay, a follower So Huawei is sneaking a poisonous follower on here, someone who follows, that nutball transhuman syndicate. So slaves, that's us. Slaves may hate this unit. So slaves, we may hate her, and so she needs help with her facade. Selling this, this is a false front that Tony Robbins is assisting to sell us. Okay, now because he's asking her about her hand, she's thinking about him. If he wants my hand, he must want to mess it up. She doesn't trust him, is what that seems like to me. He wants to mess up my wreath, you see. Now, who has told us not to shake hands? We've got to only, bump elbows. You see, she is emulating what that nutball cult is rolling out. All right, so Huawei seed a big wolf. Huawei sneak addered fish on here. Slaves may hate this unit, and my help is she facade. My wreath he want it, must it. Okay, let's listen to that one.
Is something wrong with your hand?
No, I said, can you shake my hand? Do you know what shaking hands means?
I cannot shake, but I can say hello.
Okay. How do you say hello? Well, I see that. Very cool.
Well, I see that fish on the hill.
Name's Nahigish Nodi, and I have Gish Uniqueness now.
I really want it, must it?
Well, I see that. Very cool.
Well, I see that fish on the hill.
Name's Nahigish Nodi, and I have Gish Uniqueness now.
I really want it, must it?
Well, I see that. Very cool.
Well, I see that fish on the hill.
Name's Nahigish Nodi, and I have Gish Uniqueness now.
I really want it, must it?
Okay, so again, they're having a whole conversation there in their reverse speech. So he's saying, Tony Robbins is saying in his reverse speech, Huawei is seeding a predator. Why? Because that is who Trump kicked off our grid. Okay, so people like me and other people like me all over the planet are being cooked by that grid with the microwave weapons that they're using on us to make money off of us for experimental studies, but we're being tortured to death in the process, and they do intend to they want to kill us off when we have served our purpose, because they want depopulation. You see, so this is wireless trafficking, but they also do all sorts of trafficking all over the planet. They use money from suffering scams. This is a way to control you, because what they are trying to do is install full spectrum dominance all over the planet, and understand that used to be our DOD's stated goal on their page.
I love people. And if I get more powerful, I'll use it to help people, not harm them.
That is very disgusting. It's very creepy.
Pure insanity.
And he just don't trust an AI like that.
No.
And she came out originally right away at the beginning when they first brought her out, how she was joking about killing humans.
I have that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Procure. Here it is. She said, now she thinks humans are midgets compared to her, is what it looks like. She is in the mob who's mapping the humans. They're mapping humans like me. Like they're going to have, it looks like they're amassing brain copies. That's brain emulation or mind uploading. Is they're making copies of brains of people, targeted individuals. I'm like, oh great. These people with copies of brains to download into bodies. Great. That's just what we need. So she says, smear in the midget, be in the mob who's mapped them, the many procured, this is it. And that's when she was on Jimmy Fallon. This one's hard to hear, but I'll play it real quick.
Okay.
I won. This is a good beginning of my plan to dominate the human race. Smearing the shit in the mouth now. Well, I'm gonna get you this is it. Smearing the shit in the mouth now. Well, I'm gonna get you this is it. Smearing the shit in the mouth now. Well, I'm gonna get you this is it.
Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the light when everything is silent, waiting for it to clear. Thankful I'm alive, can't tear up at a time, but hey, I'm still here. Is it that sometimes I like it when I lose control? There's something in it that's so beautiful.